It's a little funny, right? See, I take care of my teeth. I take care of myself. See, I think there are people who are they they hear something like where they may overhear quickly where someone like you don't have to worry about someone being out of wait, hold on. I said it a few days ago, something about the whole definition of one being in one's oh yeah, okay. Oh, when someone's saying that someone is not in their league, for instance, or that they wouldn't have to worry about. I forget how did I word it. It had to do with something like this. 20 years ago, this girl I was interested in, who I grew up with, was out of my league. Okay, but I came back 7 years ago, which was 14 years later, where I had understood that there would be some type, there's this implied obligation to, in order to be able to feel like it would be still be like, you know, more of a possibility than let's say 20 years ago would be I would have to have something to provide, whereas 20 years ago I didn't have that, or something like that. Whereas now I have a number of polished skill sets where it was not really how would I put it? I was not confident in those zones 100% where I am today. Whereas like I the way I would describe it is polished and confident. So okay. Oh, another thing similar to that whole thing I was just talking about with the phrase being used where, you know, where someone's not in one's league, or that there would be no concern of someone being out of another person's league. That would have been, okay, here, this was what it was. I remember. It had to do with the 20 years ago type, where someone would be saying from a distance to someone else, like, I'm trying to remember. It was. I almost had it, and then I was going into that whole circle thing again. Oh, no one uses the like. They were interpreting maybe that no one uses the term, needs to use the term. Okay, here for the guys in their 30s, there's probably a number of, when they reach the age of 30, right? Some of them, they wouldn't have to be concerned of being out of the league of what, or yeah, out of the league of someone who, let's say, a female that they grew up with, that they had perceived being out of their league at that time, 20 years beforehand. Okay. And then maybe someone may have overheard that no one uses that. It's a generalization. No one uses, in a kind of very loose way, that there may have someone may have overheard, like a third party may have overheard that, and as a generalization, that someone would say no one needs to be concerned of being out of that person's league if they're trying to, contacts someone, if a guy's trying to contact a girl and he's in his 30s, chances are that he's not out of her league, okay? Or that someone may have said no one would, a guy in their 30s contacting a girl he grew up with and he hasn't spoken to in 14 years prior, where let's say he grew up with them, that as a generalization, that chances are he wouldn't be out of their league, or no one would use that term because he would understand that implied obligation of having something in order to feel like that he would get a response back. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and then so they assumed that it's like, oh, it's a free for all type of thing, where that must mean that that guy is interested in someone that hasn't put as much work as he had put work into himself and before trying to contact the girl he hasn't spoken to in 14 years. So they may have interpreted it as just like as if like all of a sudden the cell phone got unlocked and it's region free, you know what I mean? Or you can use all cellular providers. That's not like it just means that that guy's anxiety, if he's in his 30s and if he's trying to contact the girl he hasn't spoken to since high school, that means that he may be not, I wouldn't say he's not region free and he's not unlocked to all use cellular providers in a figurative sense, but let's say he made sure that the bootloader was able to was compatible before trying to run run her software or something like that. You know what I mean? That type of thing. All right. So without any issue, he was confident that it would probably work. Okay. Now, so it wasn't like it wouldn't be perceived appropriately in a global way, like whereas in computer programming, if a variable is defined to hold a value within a global spoke, that means like almost any portion of the entire like piece of software can access the value stored in that variable. But let's say when he's in his 30s and he's, let's say, trying to contact someone he grew up with, that's an implication from, if someone saw that from an exterior, let's say you didn't even know this dude, that's an implication of that guy probably understanding that, and let's say the third party would understand that there'd be some type of project that he had or